Navigating your spiritual journey is a profound endeavor, one filled with both enlightenment and challenges. It's easy to veer off course or get stuck in a rut. While every misstep can serve as a lesson, some mistakes are so common that they've become landmarks on the path to spiritual growth. As we explore these common errors, remember that awareness is our greatest ally. Identifying these mistakes isn't about guilt or regret. It's a compass to guide you toward a more fulfilling and authentic spiritual experience. Let's delve into the insights that can help you steer clear of these pitfalls and walk your path with a more assured step. 1. You think that spirituality is a destination. The idea that spirituality is some kind of end goal can significantly hamper our growth. It's not unlike thinking a piece of music is all about the final note. It's not the end that gives the piece its beauty, but the melody that gets you there. As the great philosopher Alan Watts once said, life is a musical thing, and you are supposed to sing or to dance while the music is being played. Many people assume that once they reach a certain point in their spiritual journey, life will suddenly be a string of easy, blissful moments. But spirituality doesn't work like a lifetime achievement award, granting you a lifetime of happiness and ease. Rather, it's more akin to developing a keen ear for music, allowing you to engage with life's complexities in a more harmonious manner. Believing that spiritual growth will make you unflappable, surrounding you with only positivity, is a fairy tale. The point is not to avoid life's lows, but to navigate them with grace. Spirituality doesn't rid you of challenges. It arms you with the perspective and tools to face them. You become like a seasoned musician who can turn even a jarring note into a meaningful part of the composition. The concept of having choices is pivotal in spiritual development. It's about taking the reins of your own narrative. With every moment, every thought, every action, you're given a choice. And recognizing that you have these choices, that's the core of freedom. Spirituality is not a destination, but a continuous voyage. It's not about reaching a plateau of eternal tranquility, but about embracing life's ebbs and flows, harmonizing with the ongoing music of existence, ready to join the eternal symphony. 2. Doing good things for selfish purposes. The act of doing good deeds can sometimes be misleading, especially when the underlying motive isn't genuine altruism, but a desire for self-importance. This is a form of attachment disguised as benevolence, and it's a slippery slope. Imagine a painter who creates beautiful art, not for the sake of the art itself, or the joy it brings to others, but purely for the applause that follows. The art may still be beautiful, but its creation comes from a place of ego rather than true expression. Now, what happens when the applause doesn't come? The painter feels frustrated, not because the art wasn't appreciated, but because the ego didn't get its expected boost. This is akin to what happens when you perform good deeds for the sake of your own significance. If your kindness is met with anything less than gratitude, perhaps even rejection, you find yourself upset or angry. And why? Because the act wasn't genuinely for the benefit of the other, it was for your self-validation. This is not to say that doing good deeds is problematic. Quite the contrary. Acts of kindness can uplift communities and create a ripple effect of positivity. But the intention behind these deeds matters immensely. As Mother Teresa once said, it's not how much we give, but how much love we put into giving. Are you helping someone to lift them up or to elevate yourself? Are you contributing to the community because it enriches the lives of others, or because it earns you spiritual points? The trap of doing good for self-importance can also lead to inefficacy. When your focus is on how your actions make you feel, you might not adequately consider the needs of the one you're supposedly helping. Your efforts could become misplaced, like offering a fish a bicycle. Well-intended but utterly useless. If you find yourself wondering why your good deeds aren't garnering the appreciation or adoration you expected, it's time to reevaluate your motives. Shift your focus from what will this do for me, to what will this do for them? True altruism derives from a place of love and empathy, not self-serving interests. To genuinely do good, you must let go of the attachment to outcome, how it makes you feel, how it makes you look, or what you might get in return. In doing so, not only do you truly serve others, but you also enrich your own spiritual journey. By taking the ego out of the equation, you open yourself up to the genuine joy and satisfaction that comes from making a positive impact on the lives of others, no strings attached. 3. Looking externally for answers. The search for wisdom and enlightenment can often turn into an outward quest, leading us from one guru to another, from one sign to the next. It's as if we're on a treasure hunt, convinced that X marks the spot where we'll find all the answers. But what if the real treasure chest is already within us, waiting to be unlocked? Often, we become reliant on external sources for guidance, as though we're wandering travelers dependent on a GPS. While there's value in seeking wisdom from knowledgeable teachers or in observing signs of synchronicities, it's crucial to not become overly dependent on them. It's like learning to cook by always following someone else's recipe and never daring to create a dish on your own. If you don't trust your own taste buds, you'll never discover your own flavor. When we constantly look for external cues, we risk sidelining our own intuition. The mindset that the universe owes me an explanation can be counterproductive, as it distances us from our innate wisdom. Waiting for the stars to align before making a decision can paralyze us, turning us into passive observers rather than active participants in our lives. We become so engrossed in decoding signs that we ignore our internal compass, which often has the clearest direction. As the poet Rumi said, the quieter you become, the more you can hear. It's in the simple act of quieting the mind that we can hear our inner voice more clearly. By closing your eyes and focusing on your breath, you allow the mental fog to clear, revealing the path that resonates with your true self. Your heart already knows what you need. It's just a matter of tuning out the external noise to listen to it. In essence, while it's beneficial to gather knowledge and perspectives from various sources, don't lose sight of your most reliable guide, yourself. As you evolve spiritually, you'll find that your inner wisdom becomes richer, more nuanced, and incredibly insightful. So go ahead, consult your teachers, read the signs, but when the time comes to make a choice, remember to also turn inward. True spiritual empowerment comes when you realize that you are your most authentic guide. Instead of being a leaf carried by external winds, become the wind itself, guiding yourself through life's complexities with your own inner wisdom. Trust in that wisdom. It's been there all along, waiting for you to listen. 4. Thinking you are above others. Embarking on a spiritual journey can sometimes lead to an unintended sense of superiority over those perceived as less enlightened. It's a deceptive slope that can taint the essence of spirituality itself. Imagine someone who climbs a mountain, and from that new vantage point looks down upon those still in the valley as lesser beings. The irony is that the very climb, which should instill a sense of unity and humility, becomes a reason for division and arrogance. Spirituality isn't an exclusive club, nor is the trophy to flaunt, as if reaching a certain level of spiritual understanding suddenly makes one a better human being. It's important to recognize that everyone's journey is unique, shaped by individual experiences, lessons, and pace. As the saying goes, do not judge my story by the chapter you walked in on. You may find that those who don't meditate or speak the language of spirituality are, in fact, some of the most genuine, kind-hearted people you'll meet. They may not write daily gratitude lists, but they exhibit gratitude in their actions. They may not talk about love as a spiritual principle, but they live it by being supportive friends, caring family members, or considerate neighbors. The truth is, spirituality is not solely about what you know, but about how you live. If your spirituality doesn't make you more compassionate, understanding, and humble, then its purpose is defeated. After all, the most spiritual people are not those who talk about peace, but those who exemplify it. As the Dalai Lama wisely stated, love and compassion are necessities, not luxuries. Without them, humanity cannot survive. Judging others based on their spiritual practices or lack thereof is not just unfair, it's counterproductive. By placing yourself above others, you miss the opportunity for shared growth and mutual understanding. True spirituality encourages inclusivity, understanding that each person is at a different point in their journey. Rather than looking down on those who seem unenlightened, offer a hand to lift them up, or better yet, learn from them. The spiritual path is less about accumulating knowledge or adhering to specific practices, and more about fostering virtues like compassion, humility, and unity. It's a continuous process of internal growth, one that enables you to navigate the world with a heart full of love and a spirit free from judgment. So the next time you feel the urge to place yourself above others due to your spiritual practices, remember, the true measure of your growth is not how high you've climbed, but how wide you've extended your arms to embrace others. 5. The trap of complexity. When spiritual practices detour us from authentic living. When it comes to spiritual growth, there's a deceptive notion that complexity equals depth. The idea seduces us into thinking that the more elaborate our rituals, mantras, or meditation techniques, the closer we are to achieving spiritual enlightenment. We might spend hours crafting intricate ceremonies or amass a collection of sacred texts, all the while assuming that we are deepening our connection to the spiritual realm. The irony is, we might be doing just the opposite. The more we focus on the complexities, the further we may drift from the essence of spiritual practice, which often lies in life's simplest moments. This fixation on complex practices can also have another, more subtle, consequence. It can detach us from the foundational elements of our lives. When we're engrossed in mastering complicated spiritual techniques, it's easy to overlook our bodily health, neglect our relationships, and ignore our day-to-day responsibilities. Our quest for spiritual complexity can take up the time and energy we should be devoting to essential aspects of living. It's akin to being engrossed in painting the decorations on a boat's sails while forgetting to ensure that the vessel itself is seaworthy. In an effort to reach the spiritual skies, we forget to keep our feet on the ground. The balance tips, and we risk becoming spiritually top-heavy, investing so much in ethereal pursuits that we become unstable in the material world. Simple acts like eating well, spending quality time with family, or fulfilling our work responsibilities start to fade into the background. We get so lost in the clouds of spiritual complexity that we forget the earth beneath our feet. So, what's the alternative? Striving for a balanced approach where spiritual practices enhance rather than overshadow our daily lives. Techniques and rituals should serve as aids on our path, not become the path themselves. When they begin to complicate rather than clarify, it's a sign to step back and reevaluate. In closing, remember the words of Albert Einstein: make everything as simple as possible, but not simpler. This wisdom holds true in spirituality as well. A balanced life allows for both spiritual exploration and the meeting of earthly responsibilities. Both are necessary for a fulfilled existence. Before you go, if you found value in this discussion, please hit that subscribe button and share the video with others who might benefit. For those looking to dive even deeper, consider joining our Patreon or membership program for exclusive content and insights. Also, don't forget to check out the books listed in the description. They can serve as excellent guides on your spiritual journey. Thank you for being here, and until next time, take care.